because this is going to be our new series of classes that's uploaded on our YouTube channel. Okay, so we did the first 10 chapters. Basically, Moses passes away, and what happens after Moshe Rabbeinu passes away? The Jews forget. We said a very interesting commentary yesterday. The Jews forget a huge sloth sections of the Torah and 3,000 laws. And God says, "Sorry, Yeshua, I cannot teach it to you. Moses is the only one who gets the info directly from me." And the Jews have to go on their own and figure out the rest of the laws. And God says to Yeshua, "Go to war." I know that everyone's upset. They're asking you for they're asking you for the 3,000 forgotten laws, and they want you to find it for me. But keep them busy. Go to war and keep them busy with that instead. Go fight and conquer Israel, and that's what you should get busy with. And we're continuing verse 10 in chapter 1. We're going to finish today the first chapter of Joshua. Yeshua now. God told them they're going to take the Jews to war. So he goes and he gets the heads, he gets the officers, he collects all the officers together, and he gathers them together. Now, when does he gather them? After the mourning period of Moshe happens. So let me just give you the Hebrew dates. Does anybody know in our class when Moshe passed away? He passed away on Zayin Adar, on the 7th day of Adar. It's actually my grandfather passed away who was a very special person, passed away on the same exact day. He passed away on Zayin Adar. So Moses was actually born Nachum Velasav. My grandfather, who my son Nachum is named after, passed away on that day. So Moses passes away on the 7th day of the month of Adar, right? And the Jews mourn for him for 30 days. So what's 30 days after Zayin Adar? It's Zayin Nisan. It's getting now close to Pesach time. It's getting down to the time of Pesach. So Zayin Nisan for 30 days, they mourn him. So Yeshua leaves them, and there was terrible mourning, and it's such a bad mourning that the Jews, I guess, didn't learn so much Torah that time, and they forget 3,000 laws of the Torah during those 30 days of mourning. After they're finished allowing the 30 days of mourning, Yeshua goes to the commanders and says, "Guys, time for business. We're going to get together, and we're going to get the army ready to go." So what does he do? He says, Ivru, verse 11, the Kerev HaMachmeh, pass in the midst of the camp. The Tzavu Esa'am Lemar, and command the people saying, Echinu Lachem Tzeidah, get ready to go, prepare the packages. And there's a very interesting Rashi here, and I want to share this with you. And I ask you a question: when did the manna stop coming down? How long did the manna come down? So what is Yeshua telling them to get ready? Now you would assume, get your goodie bag ready, prepare up the food you need in order to get ready for this war. And Rashi says there's no way it could be just food or mainly food, because the manna is still coming down. So Moses passed away, he died. The manna came down for another 30 days. And the manna did not stop till the 16th of the month of Nisan, till Pesach, right? Till Pesach's going to come. Pesach's on the 15th month of Nisan. The manna will still come down. So Yeshua is not asking them to get ready for the war by preparing food. Rashi says they must mean get the armory ready, get your shields, get your swords, get all that stuff ready, because food is not necessary at this point because it's still coming down. Very interesting. So I just found it fascinating. The manna kept on coming down for another 30 something days after, I don't know, about 36, whatever, about 35 days after Moshe passed away. Command the people saying, get ready, prepare the way, prepare the things we need. Because in 3 days from now, which is going to be 1 month, Moses passed away on the 7th of Adar, so it's the 7th of Nisan. In 3 days means Yud, the 10th day. Let 3 days pass, 7, 8, 9, and on the 10th day, after 3 days, we're going to miraculously cross over the Jordan River. He says the Jordan River, we're going to go over, we're going to learn later on, there was we're going to come in order to inherit the land that God is giving to you in order to inherit. So let full 3 days pass. We're going to give you 3 days. He sends out the commanders, go around, get everybody ready, and let them down. Now, very interesting part to the story. Who's going to war? Now, if you remember, we learned together the Chumash. Who remembers that story? We're going back to now Moses' life, and we're going to mention, Yeshua is going to mention something for that story. When the Jews came to the Jordan River, they were on the eastern side of the Jordan River, in the plains of Moab, remember? And they conquered Sichon and Og and all the kings over there. And the Jews lived there. And 2 tribes came to Moses, remember? Reuven and Gad. And they said to Moshe, we don't want to go into Israel. We want to stay here. And Moses freaked out on them. Moses said, you kidding? We just had the spies and now we were stuck in the desert for like 40 years. Are you crazy? How could you say? And Moses didn't say those words. I'm dramatizing a little bit. How could you say that? You're calling, and they said, no, Moses, we're not scared. We're not telling you not to go to Israel. We have a lot of livestock. We want the pasture. There's a tremendous amount of pasture here on the eastern side of the Jordan River. We will lead the war and go in the front when it comes time to conquer Israel. And Moses says, okay, if so, you could stay over here. I'm going to put another half of the tribe of Manasseh with you guys, and they have very tremendous passion for Israel. So they're going to stay with you. So 2.5 tribes are going to hear, but when the war comes, you better be the ones in line with war. Leave your wife and kids here, but go in the front. And here's where Yeshua reminds them in the Navi of their promise that they made to Moshe years before. Let's see. Ula-Ruveni, Ula-Gadi, Ula-Chatzit, Shevet, Menashe. Actually, it might not have been that long ago. The 2.5 tribes, the Reuven tribe, the Gadi tribe, and the half of Menashe. Amar Yeshua Lemer said to Yeshua, Zachar, Amar Yeshua Lemer, Yeshua said to them, goes over to the 2.5 tribes. He says, guys, don't forget your deal. You told my teacher Moshe. You made a promise. Remember what Moses said to you. Eved Hashem, he was a servant of God. Lemer saying, Hashem that God will give you rest in this land, that you'll keep the side on the eastern side, Transjordan. He will give you this land, you can have it. And in that land, your wives and your children and your cattle could all move in, permanent homes here in the Moabite desert on the eastern side of the Jordan River. On the eastern side of the Jordan River. But you guys, you warriors, should go armed to the teeth, fully armed. It says over here, before your brothers, all the warriors should cross over and go ahead and lead the war. All the men get in front of the war, not to make the Jews feel like they're alone over here. And you will not come back home, as the next verse says, until you finish helping all the other Jews get their land. Until God will bring to rest the land, that it'll belong to your brothers. Like just like you have a peaceful land here, you're going to go in the front. And they will inherit the land that God's given to them. And they will dwell and sit in their land. Then you will return. Only after they got their land can you go back home and get back and inherit your land. That Moses, God's servant, gave to you. In the other side of the Jordan River, on the eastern side where the sun rises, because the other side of the Jordan River is the eastern side, that's where the sun goes up. Only then can you go back home. And guess what they said? As Nachum says, 100%. Yeshua Leimer, and they told Yeshua saying, everything you said will do. Wherever you send us, we will go. We are in. We did not forget our commitment we made to Moshe before he passed away. And just as we heard listen to Moses, we listened to you because it was a big question to the leadership who says they're going to follow him. And they said 100%, we're in. Whatever listen to Moshe, we'll listen to you. As long as God is with you, you keep the Torah. As long as God's with you as you were with Moshe, we're backing you 100%. And not just that, they threaten anyone who doesn't listen to Yeshua. Whoever, God forbid, whoever will rebel against you and not listen to you, you will get capital punishment. Yeshua, you are king. King has a right to capital punishment. Just be strong and have courage. Be the leader we need. And we will follow you wholeheartedly into Eretz Yisrael. And we will not go back home until this. So I find that very interesting as we go back to the story of Moshe. It's connecting to the story of Yeshua. And Yeshua, they're following up with their promise that they gave to Moshe Rabbeinu to go in. And that is the end of today's Navi. Any questions or